So now I'm finally awake after a long night of watching the Game Awards. Thank you very much for hosting that at 1 AM to start in UK time, but there was a lot of really exciting things announced. For example, the new era of Sega was really exciting. Hideo Kojima and Jordan Peele's OD looks really cool. I'm also really here for Last Sentinel, and quite frankly, I'm so excited for Monster Hunter Wilds that I could easily turn this channel into a Monster Hunter channel. I need that game yesterday, not 2025. However, I wanted to give a spotlight to the games that were shown by Square Enix because honestly, they knocked it out of the park for me with everything that they released over the course of the show, and I wanted to share my thoughts on the 3 items that I saw. So let's start by addressing the elephant in the room. Yes, we saw a brand new trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and honestly, whenever a game comes out that I know I want, I try to stay away from trailers as best I can, because I don't want to spoil things for myself before the game comes out. However, with the performance going on and the trailer being shown in the background, it was hard to look away because it was so beautiful. Everything looked amazing. Gold Saucer looks fantastic. We got a good look at Zack in the game as well. We got a first look at Sid, who looks significantly younger than I remember him looking in the original Final Fantasy VII. We got a first look at Vincent. We got a look at a lot of very, very cool things, including a final shot which for anyone who has played Final Fantasy VII is going to make everyone very, very nervous, myself included. So I'm not going to show everything that's in the trailer because obviously you can go and watch that anywhere on YouTube, but I am extremely hyped for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I think honestly the thing that impressed me most about that trailer was the showcasing for some of the more minor characters in Final Fantasy VII. So Dyne coming back in a big way, Dio for Gold Saucer looking hot, if I may say so myself, and just Marlene getting some really good screen time at last because she didn't get enough in Remake. But to see all of these characters coming forward amongst all of these big hitters and still being able to take the spotlight for themselves is nothing short of impressive. Continuing the trend of bizarre Square Enix announcements, we got a crossover of Apex Legends and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Now, I am not an Apex Legends fan particularly. It's not because I dislike it, I just haven't really played it. But I'm not gonna lie, fandom aside, I do think that it's quite cool whenever you see crossovers that are unexpected. So to see the Buster Sword being picked up by one of the Apex characters and showcasing something like that with Nomura artwork being shown for Apex Legends, I'm like, my curiosity is piqued, I will give you that. And is this going to be a gateway into me playing lots of Apex Legends? I don't know, maybe. So those of you who followed me for a while know that a lot of the old school Square Enix franchises are what give me a lot of life in general. So when I tell you that the game that brought a tear to my eye from Square Enix was in fact not a Final Fantasy at all, but Visions of Mana. Now I saw this and I was like, oh my god, it's a remake of Dawn of Mana from the PS2. And then I was like, no, wait, no, it's not. No, it's a remake of the original Final Fantasy Adventure, which would then become, the Mana series. No, it's not. Hold on a minute. This is a brand new Mana title, and when I saw the action RPG of it, the character, the designs behind it, this is something I cannot wait for. I am so excited to see how Mana has evolved since, the last Mana game I think possibly was on the DS, and so it's been a long time since the last true successor to Mana, and I obsessed over the remake of Trials of Mana that came out back in 2020, and it was something I played a lot in the pandemic and I really fell in love with. So suffice to say, I cannot wait to see what turns out with Visions of Mana. And then, of course, the big surprise, everyone loves a shadow drop, right? We all go into Nintendo Direct hoping for a shadow drop. We all go into big announcements and things like that, hoping we're going to get something soon. I was not expecting a Final Fantasy 16 shadow drop for DLC. It's what? Considering that it wasn't that long ago that we were told that there were no plans for DLC and that they were only making it by popular demand, I kind of look at that and think, you're releasing this awfully quickly for DLC that was never planned. But I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth, and I'm genuinely very happy that it's happened. So we have Echoes of the Fallen, which has come out today, and The Rising Tide, which is coming out in the spring. So I obviously haven't had a chance to play this yet because I've just woken up from staying up until 5 o'clock in the morning last night. But I guess what I want from this expansion is, I want challenge. I want difficulty. Like, I am one of the people that found that Final Fantasy 16 was a bit too easy. I want it to be to the point. I want to be able to get stuck into the content as soon as possible. And I would like it to fill in some of the gaps that was in the story in the main game, like, and flesh out some of the characters that perhaps didn't get as much screen time as I would have liked them to. We know that Leviathan is a thing through the Rising Tide trailer. We've seen a extremely terrifying looking Tonberry King. Like, I've never seen a Tonberry that looked like that before, and I'll be diving headfirst into this at my first convenience, as I do have a code for the expansion that I'll be going into as soon as I can, and I'll be streaming that as well. So honestly, I'm excited to see that 16 is being pushed further, even though, like, as far as we knew it was finished, we knew the DLC was coming, we just weren't expecting it quite this soon. I did also think it was really interesting when the DLC is set. So when they announced, like, recently what the DLC was going to be about, I kind of pictured that it would be set a lot earlier in Clive's story. So perhaps when he was younger, or his time in the war as a soldier. But no, it's set right before the end of the game. So I would suggest heavily playing through the main story for Final Fantasy 16 before picking up the DLC, which is also actually quite reasonably priced for DLC for a single player game like this. So definitely worth picking up. But also, we get Omega in Echoes of the Fallen, and some of the iconic kind of creatures. I mentioned the Tonberry King earlier, but Omega's gotten a heck of a glow up, and if Omega is anything to showcase when it comes to previous entries that it's been in, if I want a challenge, I'm hoping I'm going to get it from that. So yeah, those are my quick thoughts, pretty much just on waking up as to all of the stuff that we've seen from Square Enix, and also some of the announcements that I'm also excited for coming from the Game Awards. And congratulations, of course, to the winner of the Game of the Year. And hardly unexpected, but I will say I now feel that I must play Alan Wake 2 after seeing quite how much accolade it got throughout the whole process. And so I'm actually playing Alan Wake 1 at the moment, and I need to get through to Alan Wake 2. But let me know in the comments below, what are you excited about when it comes to the things that we've seen from the Game Awards? Is it the Final Fantasy content? Is it Visions of Mana? I'm super excited for Visions of Mana, I can't wait. Or is it Monster Hunter? Shall I start making videos on Monster Hunter? I'm mind blown by what's coming, all the things I'm excited for. 2023 is a very hard year to follow up when it comes to games, but it's off to a very good start, let's put it that way. So thank you ever so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell for notifications if you've enjoyed what you've seen here today, and I would love to see you on future videos. And if you'd like to support the channel further, perhaps consider clicking on the link in the description box below for my Patreon, where I do title cards for all of my patrons, and I am currently in the process of making prints of my artwork that I'm going to send out on a mailing list, hopefully starting in the new year. I'm also working on sticker sheets and stuff like that, all really cool stuff going forward. So thank you ever so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye now.